Earlier today, it was announced that Fnatic Huni and Reignover were going to depart from the team in pursuit to play for a North American team. The team won both spring and summer split of Season 5 with the roster, and they placed top 4 at Worlds this year. So when those two players depart from Fnatic, it raised the question of why they would leave. Why would you leave a top 4 team in the world? And in Reckless video earlier today, posted on Reddit, it was revealed that they went to North America to play because they were going to make more money, which totally makes sense. It's a business. Why wouldn't you go play where it's going to make more money, right? So today we're going to discuss why Europe cannot keep their talent. And the reason why specifically is money. They just don't have enough money. So we're going to discuss why they're doing that and why that is hindering the European League. So to start off, in Reckless video today that he released, Europe is behind in money, by the way he quoted it, and that if you are in Korea or North America, you are probably making close to 3 times more than you are in Europe. And that's not just like top team and top team. Like that is like a bottom NALCS team. It like a player on like bottom NALCS team is making 2.5, 3 times more than they would on Fnatic, for example. Like the top team, the team that's won 5 out of 6 LCS splits, one season, one Worlds, top 4 performance and finish in season 3, season 5 Worlds. Yet an 8th place team or 9th place team in North America, you would be making more money than top place in Europe. So why is that? Is Fnatic cheap? Well, no, I would assume Fnatic's not cheap because they have a ton of money. They obviously have a ton of players to play because they pay, because they also have a bunch of different esports. Like Fnatic's been the #1 team in CS:GO for 2 years up until the last month. They have a Dota team which made it to the Dota championship this year. They're in other esports too, so like, and they do pretty good. So like you have Fnatic, which is the top team, and you're placing top in a lot of these events, and yet you're still not paying your players. Like it just doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you pay your players, especially if they're performing well? So here we go. To break this down, I'm going to break this down to 3 parts. The first part being why North America has so much more money than Europe, why Europe isn't getting it, and how Europe can make money. So to start off, why North America has so much more money than Europe is pretty simple. Esports has caught on a lot faster in North America than it has in Europe. In Europe, you still have some very popular countries like Germany. You have London, you have Paris, France. Like you have a bunch of big cities and countries that recognize esports, like Denmark, Sweden, etc. But then you still have all these other not even smaller countries, just other countries that don't give a crap about esports. A lot of northern countries, Greece, Italy, Austria. Like there's a lot of these Turkey. Like there's a lot of these countries that don't even know what esports is, to be frank. So you're losing a ton of viewership and a lot of potential offers for sponsorships or to even find more players because a lot of these other countries aren't in tune and aren't what's the word I'm looking for? Aren't in tune and aren't developing as forward as far as esports is concerned because they just don't care. They don't realize the potential yet. Whereas North America is pretty much just the 2 countries, US and Canada, and you have like the odd player like Quas from Venezuela or whatever, but it's all just the one country and it picks up much faster because it's just all 1 or 2 countries compared to a bunch of tiny ones all picking on doing whatever they want. So North America's been faster to accept that esports is becoming a business. Like the #1 reason why Korea is so far ahead is because esports has been such a big thing in over Korea, like for over a decade now. Like they were super big with the original StarCraft and StarCraft 2, and then they obviously moved on to League and whatever else. And there's other ones even before that I can't even remember at the moment. You would have to ask Thorin or someone about that. But North America has caught on to esports becoming a thing faster than Europe. And that's pretty big because that means North America is getting more viewership and they're getting more sponsors, whereas Europe isn't. So let's break down the viewership first. If you, like I said, Europe is definitely a stronger region than NA right now, so why are more people watching Europe instead of NA? Makes sense. Like even as a North American, I rather watch EU LCS right now, but simply put, I can't. Why? Because first off, they play on Thursday, Friday, according to Riot's league, and my time, it's played at 10 a.m. in the morning. So for me, I'm at work the whole day. I have to catch the VODs later and whatever else. Most people here in North America are in school till 3 o'clock. So if it starts at 10, goes to 3, you got 5 matches. Every match is an hour. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Like 5, 6 hours right there. And that's it. You don't get a chance to watch it live. And then for Europe, it's a horrible time too because I believe they're 9 hours ahead of me. So if I'm watching it at 10, they're starting at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. So by the time the 4/5 match rolls around, everyone's got to go to bed because they play on Thursday and Friday. So especially the Thursday night, people got to work Friday. They got school Friday. They have stuff they need to do. Like, and then even yes, they have Friday night, which is great, but still, like people have to get up early for school. They have to get up for work still on Friday, and then staying up late sometimes, especially if you still have to work a Saturday because people work weekends, is tough. Obviously, people don't have school on the weekend most of the time, or they don't. Not as many people work on weekends, but still, it's still an effect to Europe. Whereas North America has this wonderful timing on Riot's thing, where you watch it Saturday and Sunday at noon my time, which is 9 o'clock Europe time. So for Europe, it sucks to watch NA, but for NA, it's great to watch because it's the weekend, you're off, you can stay in your pajamas, plunk your ass in front of your computer, and just watch League all day. Whereas in Europe, you can't. It sucks for NA because we're all at school, but it also sucks for Europeans because they can only watch a couple matches during the week. And they have other things they have to do during the week. It's not their downtime like it would be on a Saturday, Sunday. So because Europe isn't even getting as many viewers as North America, that's why they're having a harder time getting sponsors. And it's even just not gaming sponsors like Fnatic right now. They have Monster, they have Debafet, BenQ, XSplit, Twitch, and DXseed I believe is their last one for sponsors. So it's a bunch of video game sponsors, just like TSM and Liquid and Cloud9, they got like iBuyPower, HTC, HyperX, G2A, Razer, Logitech. Like each one has their own sort of thing, but they got different kind of sponsors too. It's just not video game sponsors, okay? So for example, Team Curse, they have Quest Nutrition. What the hell does nutrition have to do with video gaming? It doesn't. Anyone can eat whatever they want, but they've made it so they Quest has realized, hey, if I sign with Team Liquid here and they advertise Quest's product, it's helping gamers eat healthier. So that's how we can get into it. That's how they've seen their opening into this franchise through Team Liquid. Team Liquid's also signed with Nissan. What the hell does Nissan do with video games? They don't make video games, they make cars. Do they drive them to the LCS studio and back? I don't know, but still, they somehow managed to get a sponsor out of them. TSM has a Geico. They save you 15% on car insurance. What? They don't save you 15% on games, so how the hell are they on? Like, how are they getting these sponsors? Obviously, they found a way because they know in North America it gets the viewership, so then it applies to more people. Whereas if you had a Geico or a Quest thing over in Europe, not as many people are watching it, meaning it doesn't apply to them. So it's much harder to get not even just gaming sponsors, but these kind of off gaming sponsors, if you're understanding what I'm saying. Sponsors that you typically wouldn't associate with gaming. Like even Cloud9, I don't know if they're still partnered with them or not, but they were partnered with the Air Force before. The Air Force. Like, you can't do that in Europe because again it's a bunch of small countries, and it's like sure maybe if you had it all German lineup and you were having a really good Germany team or something, then you could get a German Air Force. But if you're gonna have a mixed roster of a bunch of different countries, then no German Air Force or France Air Force or whatever would ever want to sign up for it. So Europe's getting the short end of the stick when it comes to viewership and sponsors because no one no one in a lot of countries in Europe don't recognize it as a business and esport and just view it as a bunch of people playing games. But Riot also isn't even giving them the chance. Now, to be fair, Riot did have it back in season 3 where, if I remember correctly, Europe did play Saturday, Sunday, and North America did play Thursday, Friday. However, when in season 4 and season 5, North America played on Saturday, Sunday, Europe, played on Thursday, Friday. Most of the people watching esports now, because it's grown so much, guess when they came into the scene? Season 4 and season 5. A lot of people nowadays, prior to season 3, never watched any League of Legends. Or if they did, maybe very minimal. When I first came into the scene, it was during season 3, and I didn't take it seriously or watch it enough until like the World Championship for season 3. So by the time I actually got really into it, was like, oh man, I can't wait to watch this or whatever. It changed to my time, which worked out for me as a North American because I could watch it more. But for Europe, it's definitely hindered them. No, I'm not saying it's all sponsorship fault, or I'm not saying it's all Riot's fault. Maybe just because Europe has been able to pay their players for so cheap so long, and North America and Korea's prices just keep going up and up. Maybe it's just time for European teams to buckle down and pay the price for their players. So, and that kind of sucks actually, because if you think about it, if that's the case, not saying it is, but if that's the case and they were just being cheap, all the players to they've lost to North America, such as Bjergsen, Incarnation, Dexter's apparently coming back. You have Amazing who left and come back. If you were able to keep all of these kind of players and keep them in Europe, that would be such a strong league. Like an astonishing league. You would have talent on every roster, not where you have talent on 4 teams and then you have like a middle pack team and then 2 teams fighting for the 1-2. No, like, you would have it so you would have like 7 or 8 teams that are just absolutely stacked with talent. And you know what that does for the league? That makes it so you have a more competitive league, meaning you're getting better training, better practice, better games, meaning more people want to watch it, meaning you're having better results and you're able to perform more, meaning the top 2-3 teams that go to Worlds can actually not place top 4 but win because they're having a better practice environment. So it's sad actually that Europe is just so behind in money for a variety of reasons, whether it is them just being cheap or not being able to get sponsorships because places don't take it seriously enough, or just they just because they just don't want to pay their players enough money, which is pretty sad. So in coming into season 6, I really hope the EU LCS can grow because sorry NA fans, but EU is way stronger than NA right now, hands down, no questions about it, and they just keep losing players like Kasing, like Svenskeren, and there's even going to be like apparently Huni and Rainover are coming. Yes, they were imports, but why couldn't they keep those imports? Oh, because they're going to make more money being imports over here, so let's go over there. So Europe just needs to somehow make more money, whether it is through sponsors or viewership or just simply paying their players more. But if Europe wants a serious shot at not only being popular and keeping their players, but actually winning something big like a Worlds again, they need to somehow get more money.